Okay, it's preparing. Preparing. All right, you guys got that. And let me just pull you guys back up. All right, and let me hit record. Okay. All right, Michael, I'll let you start and I'll lead into the body of it. Go ahead, Michael Russo.
As the economic to call this meeting to order.
Okay. All right. As you know, tonight's meeting is about capital budget and expense budget for the needs for CB13. We're going to go over the economic development and housing issues for tonight. All right. So let me share this on our screen and you can see what we're going to go through. All right. Before I begin, I just want to go over for the people who don't know what we usually do at this time of the year. We go through what they call a capital budget and priority request for the community. We give a priority numbers 1 through let's say 25 to the city as a wish list. It doesn't mean that we're going to get it, but it's our priorities of items that are needed. They're usually broken into two parts. One is capital, which is structural items like a building, a boardwalk, structure. The second part is expense, and the expense is basically for programming and anything that's not structure. So that's how they usually divide it. So our first part that we have is on item number 12, which is page 5 for people who have it. But if not, I will scroll on here to show you. Number 12. Okay, this here is number 12. What we're doing is we're requesting or asking about installing security cameras or make other safety upgrades. Why we ask for this is to say we need sufficient funds that are requested for the installation of securing buildings, entrances system for all NYCHA housing development, including but not limited to security cameras, digital, high resolution, closed circuit cameras, etc. Televised intercom, vandal-proof entrance doors, and any safety upgrades, etc., to provide enhanced security for tenants and additional monitoring capability for housing and management and law enforcement. Of course, this is recommended to be requested and brought attention to your local official. Um, Lucia, if you can mute the other people, thank you.
There's one that I cannot, and I
Okay.
believe that's
The telephone.
yes.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah, but the phone can mute itself. So please ask her to.
if you can hit star 6, right? Star 6 to mute. Thank you. Dorian?
If you need me, yes.
Yes. Yes. If you can hit star 6, we're hearing your background. That's all. Okay. Basically, this here is put in as priority number 12, asking the housing authority to install security cameras and and make any other additional what do you call it, safety measures, improvements for each of the NYCHA building. We'll put it in here, even though it wasn't funded last year, it still needs to be funded again. So we'll put it in here as item number 12. All right, is there any question before I continue on? All right, if not, I'm going to move to our next priority in section.
You can see me out the window.
Oh, we can hear you, Dorian.
Dorian, can you please mute your phone?
I'm sorry, it's muted. It says
Nope.
unmute. Oh, Vault. I'm sorry.
That's okay. All right, item number 21 is the next one, which is invest in infrastructure that will support growth and commercial business district. Here we put in because with the rise of smartphones and other portable electronic device, we need to improve our availability, speed, and cost of broadcast access to local businesses and residents. And this is with economic development. And it said they support the agency position as follows: securing the funding of this is outside of EDC jurisdiction. Please contact the agency you have to bring this question about an EDC budget process. We put this in here because it was under EDC section, and we thought that they would be able to invest in it. We're going to leave it in there because it's still needed for them to understand that we need to increase, I guess, the broadband in the area and stuff like that. So we're leaving this as priority number 21. Our next priority.
Excuse me, Eddie, before
Yeah.
you move on,
Go ahead.
can we update the support advise? This is the second or third one that still had Traeger and Chaim
Oh, no,
Dutch.
no. Yeah, sorry. This was done for 2023, if you can see on top. The one that we're doing is for FY 2024. Yes, all the supported by, thank you very much. It's going to be changed to Councilman Kagan and Councilwoman Vertical. So don't worry about that. This is only because it was last year's request, and this is their response. So yes, thank you for pointing that out. All right. All right, our next item is item number 25. And in here, we request to build or expand affordable work or research lab spaces related to key industries such as film, TV, advanced manufacturing, life science and healthcare, renewable energy, and freight maritime. As we wrote here, we need to build an incubator / research lab spaces to entice small business to grow. We need increasing retail space pricing and huge overhead costs to start a business, and incubator can address these issues. And of course, they wrote is a response is further study by the agency of this request is needed. Therefore, OMB do not take any position at this time. Yes, Dorian, what's the question? Unmute yourself. Hit *6 again to unmute. Dorian, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes,
Can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, awesome. Is this in reference to the item for actually for the park?
No, this is basically asking them to get incubator / research lab spaces for retail businesses. This is more of something that we would like them to have in the area. We
Okay.
have like they said a workforce one, which is good to actually give people jobs, but this is for actual businesses to actually grow into a bigger company. So
I understand. I thought it was priority number 24. I apologize.
no,
I'm going to
that's
pay
fine.
attention.
Oh,
Okay.
oh no, that's something else. Yeah. Don't read the other ones. The other ones that you read either above or below either happened already. In the other day we had a meeting, or that's coming up, which is on Monday for the transportation. Those other two they're going to be discussed at those committee level. Let's see who else has raised their hand. Michael Silverman first, and then Michael Russo.
Yeah, Eddie, the second sentence of the explanation does not make any sense.
Let me just see. Okay.
Number 25.
Oh, it should say with increasing. Sorry, yeah, it say we increasing. No, it should say with increasing retail space pricing. Yes, thank you very much. We'll correct that. And Michael Russo.
This is more like a school thing that I believe that private industry would do.
I think it is more. Well, no. See how we looked at this was it. See how we look at these items. They're listed in the section for economic development and housing and anything else in there. And this was in their, how do you call it, request. If you believe that request is needed, then you say you want this in our area. That's how what you're thinking about if it belongs in the school. No, that there's a
Well, I
section
guess-
there with school with dealing with workforce one or continuing education.
It's a training thing. It's more a training thing than to build
Yeah.
or to assist with internships.
No, that see, the other one is more school oriented. This is more for business oriented. This is actually a business there, but it needs to grow bigger. The other one for school is training kids to go into a skill or to get them a job.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, no, but they do have that in another section that we did request for what do you call it, workforce one and more what do you call it, vocational training and stuff like that. But this is more like you pass college and you pass the growing stages, but you need to get to the next level. That's what the incubator / research lab spaces are. And hopefully, we can get one. For people who want to look it up, there's an incubator either in East New York or in Bed-Stuy that helps small business grow into a bigger section. So that's where we saw this back then about 5 to 6 years ago. And we thought that, you know what, if they have it, why can't we? So it's something that is needed. It might not be needed this second because of funding, but it doesn't mean that it shouldn't be asked. Okay. So, all right, so that part explained. Go to the next one, which is number 31. Okay, item 31. Oh, okay, this is the fun one now. Because this deals with investing in capital improvement in capital projects to improve access to waterfront. This, of course, it all talks about this ferry. We have to make changes about this because at this time the ferry is not coming. Well, it's not coming to Crete at this point, but as you can read, this was last year's. That additional studies need to be made at Steeple Chase Pier for possible ferry for what do you call it, for oceanside landing. So we have to change this whole section, but we are going to leave this here again and see what they're going to do. That's why there's more requests in this one proposal. So we're going to have to, as they say, adjust it to what the current situation is. Yes, Michael.
We need both landings. I'm sorry to say.
Sure.
We-
I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. I think when
Get rid of to take the creek side landing out
sure.
after the investment we already made.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I think it is like
Both landings.
you can have both. That's why I feel. But depending on who's going to fund the second one, it's going to be a challenge. Only because if you and I know that this one landing costs $7 million, it's going to cost at least twice or 3 times the amount to put it on the ocean side.
No,
Give
Well,
a
I
take.
have a,
Yeah, sure. Yes.
why can't we just move it to where Kohl's and Target is?
Then it won't be used for Coney Island then.
it's not our district.
Well-
either. That's not our
But that-
district.
That still does not even, that doesn't fall under our district. Okay, I understand. But
It just you want to benefit the people nearby because they're so far away. Yes, there might be one in the future over there, but for the time being, the ones that we're trying to what do you call it, give access are people in Coney Island, Seagate, the Niger building. Because if you realize that NYC ferry forward includes that if you're a senior or you live in a nitrogen building, they will give you a discount of what, 175 or
135.
135, right? Even cheaper. 135 for what do you call it, getting on the ferry. So that in itself is a plus. But we don't have a ferry, so it doesn't help us.
Yeah, there's a different reason for that.
I know, but like I said, in a nutshell.
Okay.
I don't want to go into it.
Best we be quiet.
If Jeff and I were here, they would tell us something different. But like I said, there's always room for 2. But at this time, they're going to do a ferry study for the ocean side, and one on the creek side is put on hold for the time being. So
Well, would we be able to keep in mind that these ferries also do come with 36, 36, 15 or 36, I forget, but they come with buses. They come with buses to bus people, like, take Far Rockaway, for example.
Sure.
The bus goes all the way from the Rockaway Ferry to East 36th Street
sure,
and picks people up and picks them off.
yes. So
So it,
I think that we will work with MTA only because the B36 and the B74 does go on to what do you call it, Bayview Avenue and over by the creek side, that they can walk over and to the
Right.
park and get in and get out. But like I said, at this time everything is put on hold. Not that we wanted it, but
I'm definitely sure that Hornblower, the shuttles, they're gonna come with the ferry anyway, and the shuttles are gonna be
No.
taking
Sure,
the
sure.
still.
No,
So we don't have people running all over.
we
Hold
don't
on a
know
minute,
that.
hold on a minute.
Yeah, we don't
The
know that.
shuttles
I'm gonna-
don't come with ferries. Okay, the fact that Rockaway has it, that was handled by the council person
Yes.
in the Rockaways. There
Mhm.
is no other ferry connection at any of the other ferry stops through the system.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what is asked has to be done by the local.
Sorry, and one more thing. I'm standing here, I'm looking at the ferry. I'm pretty much at the ferry. I'm at the I'm on the beach, well, on the bay at 23rd Street.
Okay.
This place is horrible. It's horrible.
Yeah. I
There's trash everywhere, right?
Sure.
Where that.
Yeah. I think
That's all.
with something like that, we don't with this wish list that you see here is for 2024. If you have those type of problems, don't wait till us to respond because of this what do you call it, wish list. Call our office. You have our number, call our office, let us know if there's a pile up of garbage over by the creek side, or if there's some crazy, party that they had and everything is still there. Let us know.
Absolutely. No, it's infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's I'm sure a lot of us have been back here. It's
Yeah.
back behind Mark,
Oh
behind
yeah.
the community.
Yeah.
It's really bad. Yeah.
This
Well,
isn't the
that's
time
all.
or the place for this, right?
yeah. No, like I said, those type of problems that you have there,
Can we move on,
definitely
please?
mention it to our office, okay? Call the office
Absolutely.
and let us know, okay?
Sorry. If I
No problem. All right, so moving right along, that was our last one in our capital side. So now we're going to go into our expense side, which is number 4. Okay, here is where we like to provide, expand, enhance community outreach on HPD programs and services. Here we need to continue to support we need to continue support to provide community outreach on HPD programs and services such as the CCCC program. Our housing groups are in need of funding for the area to help the tenants, homeowners, and landlords. With landlords/tenants on the verge of losing their apartments due to the pandemic, more grants and programs needed to help both to deal with the problem. We need to expand the funding and anticipate the future emergencies, example, pandemic. So of course, they said they are positioned. HPD has no funding for the program. City council only fund this program. So this HPD is solely limited to administrating the contract and therefore no control over funding restoration. So we're still leaving this in because one of our groups in the area, which is BNA, that does the program for outreach of tenants and homeowners, is a CCC program, is needed, and we need to put this in still. So this is up here in priority number 4 as an expense. Okay. Is there any question with that? All right. If not, let me just continue on.
So Eddie, I
Yeah.
do have a question. Let's use a little bit of psychology here. Is there anything that being that we know their response,
Mm.
and this is more headed towards the city council than HBD because they can only deal with and offer funds for programs that they run. Doesn't it make sense to move maybe something else up in its place? Because otherwise you're going to get the same exact answer
Yeah,
as you got this year.
I think that's good, but what else would you want to move up? I mean, there's
Well,
other-
your next item on the list is talking about the rat problem
Yeah.
in Coney.
yeah, I mean, they were okay with it. I mean, to move it up one, I mean, it's, anybody here from the housing group, do you guys oppose it or no? Forever hold your peace, because if not,
Eddie, can you ask the question again?
okay, your fellow board member Michael Silverman wanted to move priority number 4 to priority number 5 and number 5 to number 4.
For the simple reason that if we put it as our top priority, we're gonna get the same response as we did last year and the year before and et cetera, because they're really telling us it's not their job and that belongs to the city council. So knowing that we can expect the same response as previously, wouldn't it make sense to move up the
Number
next
5.
item on the list to make it the top priority, or the one after that, whichever one the group wants?
I mean, they're different in content, so.
Yes, they're very different, but OMB is still going to tell us it's not their job.
Okay. I
So
I do not mind.
okay, all right, so all right, so I mean, I don't mind just moving one section over so that the pest control or the rat abatement section could be moved to number 4, and number 4 can be moved to number 5. That I don't mind doing. Is that okay with everybody here?
I agree with Michael.
Okay, all right, we can, so Barbara, just indicate that we're gonna move number 4 to number 5 and number 5 to number 4.
Number 5 to number 4, sure.
All right, so our next item here, after that is item number 9. Now here is, the interesting part, but you can tell me if you want to have it or not. Let's conduct a bid feasibility analysis or support bid formation planning for a selected, commercial district. Of course, we said we are currently have the bid in Brighton Beach, as it is successful in the area. We are looking to form a bid in Coney Island to handle the commercial and amusement area. So the study had to be proven, further
Can I
studied
say-
by the agency of this.
Can I talk on that first?
Huh? Sure,
Can I talk on that
Go ahead.
being part of the last bid committee?
sure,
Not as community board, but as part
yeah,
of the bid committee?
sure,
There was so much, they made the bid area too big.
sure,
They try to include as much as they can of Coney Island.
sure,
We got so much bad, just bad vibes,
sure.
bad press, bad everything.
Uh,
It's pretty much just gonna be an amusement area thing where the major stakeholders are gonna be part of the bid, and it's gonna leave a lot of Coney Island out. I would like to do the bid for all of Coney Island,
hmm,
but there was so much bad, the only way I could put it is bad press, really one bad person
Yeah,
was giving false information out,
sure,
and it really soured the waters.
yeah,
So, we need the bid for Coney Island because the alliance is strong, but it's not as strong as it could be if it had the
Mm.
bid, if it had the fundings for the bid in the back, as opposed to, where it would be, not to say it's a tax, it is a tax on the stakeholders,
mm,
but it's spread out a lot further, and the city would pay their fair share, as
Sure.
opposed to just the stakeholders.
all right, Dorian? Dorian?
Yeah, I had a question. I was going to ask Michael if he could elaborate on that a little bit.
Sure.
Did the bid span from the amusement park all the way throughout Coney Island?
it covered from the amusement park pretty much to, it included the YMCA and included all of Mermaid Avenue. There was,
Right.
then once they got on Mermaid Avenue, there was one person who gave a lot of false information. There was a lot of
Okay.
false information, and it soured the waters on all the people from Mermaid Avenue. And it pretty much becomes a vote thing. You know,
Yeah.
if you own the piece of property, you vote yes or no for it. And the way it's going to be, we need the bid in Coney Island more for the amusement area, but it would help the commercial strip on Mermaid Avenue also. It would help it a lot.
Right.
With sanitation and security and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially now
I
with the commercial.
But is there any way maybe that the Alliance would be able to work somehow in conjunction with the bid as maybe some kind of subsidiary or
The Alliance took the lead on it because
Okay.
they wanted to do the best for Coney Island. They received the grants and they took the grant. They applied for the grants and got the grants for all of Coney Island, not just for the amusement area.
right?
Okay, and they did all the sanitation and security for Mermaid Avenue, including the amusement area. But like I said, one person muddied the waters and put a lot of sour grapes in there when he really didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
Yeah, and
Okay.
especially now with incident where some people have been business been getting robbed, this would have come in handy. You know, so because there's no
It would
bid,
be security
the
enhanced.
security would have been in there, which would have been one
It would be a
solution.
community thing. Sorry, Eddie. It would be a community thing.
Yeah.
It wouldn't just be, believe me, I'm on both sides because I own property on Mermaid Avenue and I'm part of the amusement community. But it would help everybody.
Yes. Okay.
So as you know, I recommend that we put this on the list.
It's still there, yes. Okay, all right, so we're moving on along. Our next item is number 14, which is here. Well, I don't know, truthfully, this part I would take off, but it's number 14 is to support development of local storefront facade improvement program. We need to support the facade and improvement for the area after Superstorm Sandy. Businesses had to clean up damages with no monies for storefront improvement. The agency will try to accommodate this issue with existing resource. I hate to say it, but I would take this off because it's 10 years later now. And I don't think if the storefront hasn't fixed himself up in 10 years because of Sandy, I don't know what they've been doing. So I think this item should be taken off. Michael, do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, it's like you really waited 10 years to get your storefront fixed from Sandy. Then what kind of storefront did you have, you know? So Dory.
That goes way past the storefront.
Yeah, I know.
What
but,
what storefronts are we talking about?
any storefront to get a storefront facade program, to fix up the stores if they were damaged since Sandy. But
Okay.
it's 10 years later.
I don't think that necessarily applies to Sandy. I think that that's
Sure.
something that should be done separately, but it still should be done because
Yeah.
Mermaid Avenue
But then,
alone is not form at all, and it has no
yeah.
appeal. It's just everything is everywhere, and some kind of beautification would be amazing.
Yeah. Well, we'll do this. We'll leave this here, but we'll take off the word Superstorm Sandy section.
Right.
Just say we need to support storefront facade improvement for the area, and that's basically period. Okay. Because yeah, to reference Superstorm Sandy now is like you're kind of pulling it now, but to say that we still need storefront facade improvements for the area is still a need. So that's good. Good point. All right, so we'll leave that in there, Michael, but we just take off the Superstorm Sandy.
Agreed.
Okay, all right, so the next one is number 15, which is to improve city-owned NYC public markets. We need to improve our public market. We currently have 2 locations. Actually, we only have 1 location now, and we need to bring more to the area. The one that used to be around here was Farmers Market over on West 16th Street and Surf. It's no longer there. And the other one is over by Coney Island Hospital, right by the bus stop, and the median. They're there every Friday. But those are the two public markets that we have in the, well, one public market now that we have in the area. So I think we need more of this still. So we just leave this in, okay. All right, our next part that we have is number 21. Okay, we need to invest in access to low cost finance and invest financial incentives to help business construction or improve space job creation or retention and catalyzing new capital investment. Yeah, we need to expand. We agree. So we want to put this in here and we just leave it as is the same number, 21. All right. The next one is number 26. Support our local CBO's effort to provide or expand retail attraction and retention assistance. We just need this in our area and we just need it, okay? As you can see, it's repeating the same thing they have, but it's needed for our area, so we didn't get too fancy there. All right, and then I guess we're gonna get to our last one. The last one is number 38. All right, other workforce development requests. We need to expand our financial incentive for job creation and retention to local businesses to hire local residents. And they said they will try to accommodate this issue within existing resources, but we do need other what do you call it, incentive for people to hire local people. And that's what we have here. All right, so what I need for you guys to do is there any new items that you might want to put into here that you think that deals with either housing or economic development issues? Oh, let me just take this down. You don't need to see this anymore. Okay, all right, so seeing that we have people here and read the chat. What does the chat say? Okay. Okay, all right, is there any questions or comments, Dorian? Okay, yes, you can speak now. Dorian,
Hello?
yes, can you hear us?
Yeah. In regards to the residential construction that's going on in Coney Island, I know that there are postings, but they're majorly posted on the Housing Connect site through
Sure.
the city.
Yes,
But when it comes to constituents that live out here, we do get a priority. So it's more of a question of how do we have access to the developments going on in Coney Island to be able to take advantage of them?
okay, that's not what do you call it, expense and capital and expense question, but I can let you know that if you wanted to get into those housing, that you should call NHS at let me put it in the chat, the number. But you can
Okay.
call them up at 718 469 4679, and that's
Okay.
NHS, and they basically are the people who are dealing with the Housing Connect. So yeah, and they're the ones that people should call in if they want to go into their lottery, so that they can get, if not for them, for your friends or people who want to move into the neighborhood. And they do give priorities to Coney Island resident, or no, they give preference to our zip code, which is 11224 and 11235. So basically,
Right.
those are the majority of people who are getting preference. Yes,
Okay.
and Tatiana
Oh,
put
and-
link in there too. Thank you.
Like, this is my first economic meeting, so I did mention a lot of things that were off topic. I just appreciate everyone for having patience
That's
with
okay.
me, and I'm learning as I go along.
Sure. Well, definitely come back, like I said, on Monday to hear about public safety, and also on Tuesday to come to the 60th Precinct Council in person at St. Paul's at 7. Okay.
Absolutely.
Is there any old business, new business that anyone needs to mention? Nothing else? Michael, you want to close out?
I make the motion, to close the meeting.
Right, one of you guys.
I second it.
Thank God.
Tatiana. All right. Well, thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you at the next meeting. All right. And oh wait, before you guys go, Frank Giordano's street naming is this Saturday at 12 noon. We'll send out notices tomorrow to remind people. Frank has been a long time pharmacist in the area and served on the community board for many, many years. And as everyone knows, he knew how to kick up a storm. So
He also was a hell of a dancer.
and helmet dancer too. So we'll see everyone hopefully on Saturday, and if not, at the next meeting. Okay. All right, guys. Thanks
Good night.
very much, and
Thank you.
see you guys soon.